I would want your initiative here. So I'll mute myself and you are going to speak.
Appropriate to the issue.
I'll appreciate if the sentences are spoken, not words, so that everybody can understand. Yes, go ahead, Vishal. What did you say?
Listen to the participants actively and carefully and appropriate to the issue.
Appropriate to the issue what? Listen.
Appropriate to the issue that we are talking on group discussion.
What should be appropriate? What action should be appropriate to the issue? Listening or speaking?
Listening, ma'am.
Okay. But can we listen outside the topic also? We will listen only what is spoken. So appropriate action can only be taken about speaking. Like appropriate to the topic can only happen about speaking, cannot happen about listening actually. But yes, carefully and attentively about listening. So right adjective is what I'm talking about, Vishal. Okay, others, quickly next. One point contribution, GD discussion, revision. Everybody, unmute yourself one by one.
While having a GD, the flow of conversation should be continuous. There shouldn't be any interval.
Right. Okay.
And we also can cross the point of the we can cross the points and also talk continuously about that and let someone speak, listen to that, and then reply to that.
Cross the point as in you mean oppose the point, right?
Cross the point. Oppose, right.
Change opinion.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. But there is a thin line difference between changing the opinion and contradicting. We are not supposed to contradict what I said 2 minutes ago. Like I only said something about agree and then immediately I only say anything about disagree. That will make me little contradictory. But then as the suggestion, as the discussion grows, it progresses, differences can happen.
Discussion should be poised, calm, not aggressive.
But energetic and assertive, for sure.
Yeah, and let everyone talk.
Okay. Everybody is supposed to add on to some points, not every point by Preeti only. Others quickly contribute to this quick revision.
Don't make
work on the body languages.
How it should be?
It should be, ma'am, polite, gentle, and don't use too much of body languages like shaking hands or figuring out with fingers.
Okay. Others, next.
Don't make fun of the other participants on their viewpoint.
Okay. Some observations and feedbacks that you all have received in sessions here. Quick revision of the do's and don'ts that I have told you, not the quick revision from Annette. Everybody else?
All perspective of the topic.
Again, no phrases. I need complete sentences. What you spoke was not a complete sentence.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
We should raise the any point based on any data, analysis.
Meaning, we should raise any point based on any data. What is the meaning of any here?
For example, data, some like percentage wise and numerical wise.
Should we use or should we not use? What are you trying to say?
Should be used, ma'am.
We should use.
Yes.
So we can use any data, any number. That's what you're saying? Like I can randomly say 38% people are living in poverty. Can I say that randomly?
No, ma'am. It should be based on any analysis.
It should be based on a certain analysis. Any is not the right one. Any means koi bhi.
No.
Any is not
Certain.
certain. What I'm asking you, do you, are you talking about data being correct and certain? You are
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
any is going opposite direction. It's giving a different meaning to your sentence. We can't use any data. We have to use the accurate data only. The correct choice of words. See, you used word any and it went against you because it changed the meaning of the sentence only. We have to
Ma'am,
use words carefully. Others, Preeti, quiet.
And we got something new in GD because everyone don't know any topics.
Mhm.
Then they got something new.
Okay. Do you mean if everybody is repeating, we need to bring up some new dimension to that
No,
discussion?
ma'am. After discussing, we got something new, ma'am.
We got, when did you discuss? You are saying got, that means past. So when did you got? When did you discuss? What discussion are you talking about?
About, ma'am, any topic.
So why are you using past? We got new point. When did you got new point? That's what I'm asking. Is it something that happened just before this class? Have you done it already? What point are you talking about? Why are you referring in the past?
Yes, ma'am. I'm referring past, ma'am.
But what past? Make it clear for me, na? आपको कब मिला? कौन सा new point मिला? I'm not sure what you're talking. Make it clear for me. Make me understand little clearly. We get, not got. Whenever, जब भी हम करते हैं practice, we get.
Yes, ma'am.
Not got is incorrect. Past में use नहीं करोगे अगर आप एक general do's and don'ts बता रहे हो तो. We are not supposed to use past reference जब आप specific past का कोई example बता रहे हो. But that's not what you are doing right now. So use present tense. Okay. Some more do's and don'ts that I have told you, that you received feedback on in previous GDs. Others who have not spoken. All those who have not spoken. Yes, Rohit.
Hello everyone, the chance to speak.
What about chance to speak?
Topic wise.
What about topic wise? Do you talk like that in your home, in your family, in your friend? Eat, angry, repeat, sleep, job, no job, interview. Do you talk like that? In your life, in your general life, with your friends, with your teachers, with your neighbors, with your family, do you talk like that? Today,
Topic.
angry that day, going market, eat food. Do you talk like this? Two words, phrases?
Topic related, ma'am.
Again, what topic related? What are you trying to say? I'm not understanding a single thing. These are words. These have no meaning. What topic related? What should I do with topic related? What do you want to say? The sentence. I need the complete sentence. A sentence has verb, sentence has someone who does the action. It has some helping verbs because you're talking about do's and don'ts. So it will probably have should not, need not, must have, something like that also. We, people, participants, like these subjects also. And some verb, should not do, should not speak, should include, need to, like this. Where is the sentence, Rohit? There is no sentence that you are speaking. You're saying topic related, appropriate. What is the meaning of topic related here? What do I do with topic related? Is it something I should do? Is it something I should not do? What are you trying to say? Make yourself clear. Speak again.
Hello everyone, the chance to speak.
Again, same sentence. What is the meaning of chance to speak here? What do you want to say? Hello, everyone, chance to speak. What is the meaning of that? Is it a rule that you are talking about in GD? Is it a rule that you are talking about, Rohit?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the rule? हेलो एवरीवन चांस टू स्पीक इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है ये सेंटेंस ही नहीं है इसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं है हेलो एवरीवन
हेलो ना
मैम
हेलो नहीं है हेलो है हेलो हेलो एवरीवन
spell that word please spell it for me how do you spell this
hello
that's what I'm saying spell tell me the spelling of this word that you are speaking
ALLOW
please check the pronunciation on Google for this word we don't call it elu we call it allow we don't call it elu and I heard as hello and any other person how many of you understood the hello and allow
No, ma'am.
what do you mean by no what did you hear hello or allow what did you hear
It's hello.
It's hello.
we
Hello,
never
everyone.
say hello it's allow that's how the pronunciation goes how grossly misunderstood you will be Rohit if we speak like this misinterpretation can happen and it can hugely impact your selection because all this while in your mind you were speaking allow which is a verb but I was hearing and everybody probably here and your panelist also may hear it as hello because it was hello and hello pronounced to hello I was saying hello everyone chance to speak what is the meaning of that there is no sentence but the meaning is where you were speaking allow everyone and allow everyone to speak allow everyone a chance to speak that also is incorrect give everyone chance to speak that is a correct sentence or you can say allow everyone to speak allow everyone chance chance is something that you give chance is not something that you allow so vocabulary wise also we need to work hard lot and then we are joining sessions late what about something more I need few more quick revision from everybody those who have not yet contributed those who have not even revised a single rule anything that you remember about GD anything that you may have heard I said
Carefully carefully listen every member while they are speaking.
okay Hashikesh
Yes, ma'am.
very good point raised but I can remember something so I don't know it was your batch or lab 1 but Saket sir suddenly joined and he found one student sitting in darkness and that may be a problem for you why are you sitting in darkness
No, ma'am. Actually, my surrounding weather are very cloudy. That's why, ma'am, I am. That's why.
so you're saving electricity for tomorrow
No, ma'am. Already bulb is on. I don't know why. My camera is problem. My camera is something problem.
okay
I try to switch in another way.
okay anything else that anybody has to add about GD any rule anything that you remember important any don'ts that you remember what about opening what about closing what about structuring nobody wants to add anything to that
Try to use mind mapping in group discussion.
great thank you so much Yashashri what else
make sure to listen to the person in front.
and what do we do with that listening we respond to that when you listen you respond okay fair listening in alone is not enough you will have to respond to also you need to add on to that as well Okay, what about others? Opening, anything about how many sentences, closing, summarizing, anything? Remember anything? No, nothing?
We need to summarize our group discussion into 3 to 4 lines.
And who summarizes it?
Everyone, those who participated in the group discussion.
So everyone uses 3 to 4 sentences. No, Naila, you were not audible. Try speaking now. No, you are not. You are still not audible. Vikas, Prateek, Shivani, you have anything to add to it? Kavita? Do we have anything to add to it? Prateek? Nothing to add?
Maybe you can add our points in small sentences instead of giving in a full paragraph.
Okay.
And maybe add our point of view on other people. You can say other people points.
Yes. Okay. Couple of things that will be a revision, couple of things that will be new. And it's really important that you have a notebook where you are making these notes. It's really important to have those notes. Okay. Please make notes while I'm sharing. Important points to remember about GD. That's how you should make clear, neat and clean notes. It will help you to revise also. Okay. Now, group discussion, as we say, for some, this may be a quick revision. And some of the pointers will definitely be new. Please, everyone, be super alert. Okay. Now, when we talk about types of group discussion, first of all, how many types of group, and this is about topics. One of the topics we are going to do today, factual, where you talk about the real facts, something that is happening, current affairs, COVID, economic policies. It could be any fact. Okay. Then we have case study based GD, where one specific situation will be given to you and you'll be asked to discuss on that. Now, when you have these case study based GD or group discussions, so suppose case study, suppose we talk about, so the other day we talked about community kitchens. Now, they may be, we talked about community kitchens, right? Do you remember the discussion? Yeah, we had the discussion about community kitchen. Similarly, suppose they give you that post-COVID, our country has generated the amount of waste we would otherwise generate in 10, 20 years. We have generated that amount of biomedical waste within 2 years. How do we manage that? Now, that's a case-based discussion. It's a specific topic. It's a specific situation or crisis that they have given you. You need to discuss on that. Opinion based, where there will maybe some it could be an abstract also, it could be a situation also, and lot of opinion sharing would happen in that kind of GD, but the flow, the structure remains same, the research remains same. Okay, and then we have abstract, like is happiness more important or being successful, wealthy more important or being rich, okay, or as in healthy. So it could be anything. Again, when we talk about GD, the process goes from topic announcement, you prepare, you're given some time to prepare. The teammates that you have been divided, they can be known or unknown when we talk about in real GD. You start the discussion once your preparation time is over. A lot of times you're just given 5 to 10 minutes. 15 minutes is the usual time that is given to you. When the team is bigger, a lot of times it's possible that you may be given extra time as well. Okay, so here, that what you have to remember, I'll be talking about the inside your GD once you are starting the discussion, how the structure should flow. You want to make a note of that as well. But before that, there is a new technique that I'll share. So we talked about mind mapping. I talked about WH as in using all the W and H, what, when, where, how, who, relate that with the topic and bring that into discussion. That also is perfect. But few case-based, especially we are going to do some case-based studies. And for that, you need to utilize this method. This you can use for any. It is not that you should use only for case-based, because Rarely you'll actually find the difference between these different topics. They may look similar to each other. Now, this technique, PESTL, pestle analysis, is what we call. This is also excellent way of analyzing and structuring your topic. Whatever topic you may have received, this is one of the best ways to analyze it. Now, how do you do that? For example, even if we take the biomedical waste, okay, socially, politically, economically, technology-wise, environmentally, legally, what are the impacts? What are the laws, regulations? What has been the actions that have been taken on, and what has been the consequences of those actions? जो भी steps लिए गए, जो भी situation है, उसका क्या impact हुआ? Economically, ab dekho, mask, we talk about PP kits that were quite a huge requirement. Then huge number of syringe, these bottles, glucose bottles, and then wires and so many other medical equipments that were not reusable got piled up because of such unprecedented huge demand that we had in front of us. It was a medical emergency situation for the entire world, but we generated waste. वो waste कहाँ गया? कैसे dispose हुआ? उससे क्या problem हुई? उसके reasons क्या थे? उसको हम best तरीके में tackle क्या कर सकते हैं? Okay, now tackle करने के लिए भी economically कोई challenge हो सकता है, right? Politically challenge हो सकता है, जैसे कि अगर हम landfill करके करना चाहते हैं उसको dispose, इतना सारा है पूरी country का, it's not really possible to do it alone. We need government's help. And then society पे क्या impact हो रहा है, या society कैसे contribute कर सकती है? We can talk about that. Technology wise, if we have the right appropriate technology, what kind of technology will we need? Where we, even if we, suppose we try to dump all the biomedical waste in land, empty land, then also the land is getting toxic because that biomedical waste is actually contaminated with lots of what do you say, everything that we don't really want to, all kinds of toxic waste. It has a lot of viruses, bacteria, blood, contaminated, everything. It makes the soil also contaminated, so the landfill is also not a good idea. Now, technologically, how we can decompose? We cannot burn also this huge amount. What will happen if we burn this huge amount of biomedical waste?
Air pollution.
The air
Environmental
pollution,
impact.
air.
Huge level of contamination and pollution in air. That will put, again, what we are trying to run away will land that exactly into that problem. So now when your discussion flows, it goes from all of these ifs and buts and possible and consequences and happenings. You discuss on all factors and you gradually move towards what could be the way forward. How do we do it? And even when we do it, what could be the challenges? What could be the ways? What could be the steps legally, politically, economically? For every topic, you may not have to involve all these 6 parameters, but for a lot of topic, you will have to. And it's great. It will help you to create. See, I'm not talking about any article, any legal XYZ rule. I'm not talking about that. I'm just using my general sense, my logical common sense. It's great if you are generally aware, you keep yourself updated. I keep myself updated, but trust me, honestly, I'm speaking to all of you. I don't watch news that regularly. I'm not a news person. I don't really watch a lot of news. I keep myself updated. I utilize various sources to keep myself updated because I'm in a profession where I have to be, but I'm not someone who is big on news. Any kind of news is either on TV or social media. I don't have news subscription channels anywhere. When I have to, I'll go and I'll watch it, and that's it. I have my own ways of researching and keeping myself updated, but I'm not a big person. Still, I keep myself aware. So find something that you connect with, find something that you relate with, and please start doing, like making yourself more aware. How many of you have heard about Syria, the tragedy that has happened with Syria?
Yes, ma'am. The volcano eruption. affected Turkey as well.
Volcanoid
No,
update or
no,
earthquake?
earthquake.
What happened? Okay. So current affair topics related case studies can also be given. Sometimes the question will be very short and vague, and you will have to discuss all the possible parameters. Now, mind mapping is there, and you can combine the pestle and mind map. Do you think you can combine?
Yes.
Everybody else, why not? Why do we not have the yes from everybody? Do you think you can combine mind mapping with pestle analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can have
Yes,
5-6 branches for the topic and put it under the terms economic, social, technology. Social as in socially how it is affecting what has been the backdrop. Okay, so this especially is really beneficial for specific case study related topics, but it is equally beneficial for any other topics as well. Now, a lot of do's and don'ts you all have discussed during the discussion, but at the same time, just a quick revision. Talk whatever is appropriate for the issue. Be confident, be assertive, put forward your point energetically, but don't shout. Okay. If you are not sure about the data, the number, the date, day, about any of those, please don't speak any inaccurate data. Without referring to any specific data, you can talk about like majority of a huge section of, suppose you're talking about a political party and you don't want to name it. You should not be naming it. You can say a leading national political party, a leading leader or a leading politician from XYZ state, or a leading politician of the main, as in country, from the parliament. You can have descriptive words. If you want to avoid certain names, certain places, you should take care of that as well. And your voice modulation, energy, your pitch, how you modulate, that matters a lot. Can't stress enough on that. Okay. Changing opinion here, again, I'll come back to that contradiction. Do not contradict yourself, but then it's okay to change opinion in the flow of the discussion. Interrupting another participant before his arguments are over is a bad thing, but if you feel intrigued, interruption itself is not bad. Interrupting rudely or inappropriately is bad. Be smart enough to spot the opportunity where and when you are going to. Suppose I started saying something and I took a pause, like this filler, or my pitch went down. Maybe I was thinking of ideas. That's your accurate moment. Everybody, that's your accurate moment to pitch it. And I want to add, Shubhangi, here one thing like that. You can say that. Okay. Some parameters of evaluation, and please make a note. I am making note of all of these feedbacks that you'll be today participating. I'll be giving you and I'll be dividing in your topic. Your content, your language proficiency, because certain words, if you don't use carefully, it changes the meaning. Your communication skills, your behavior, and this is where you are all lacking big time right now. Like the last time until that I saw this. All the people, all the members of the group, each of the group that I will be dividing you into should have equal participation. Suppose there are 5 members in a team, all 5 members should have 20% participation. That can only happen when none of you would speak 2 lengthy sentences in one go. Please do not speak lengthy sentences. Doesn't work, okay? Short sentences, very short sentences. Make your point as clear. So I shared a video in the group. Any of you watched it? I shared a video in the group. Any of you watched it?
Ma'am, that YouTube link, ma'am?
Yes.
A little bit, ma'am.
Little bit? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay if you haven't watched it. You can watch it after the session. But
Yes,
it's
sure.
must for every person here to watch it. That's how a GD should flow. Okay. So in front of my screen, you should all be able to see some phrases. When you are giving your opinion, and in between, no matter what kind of GD you are participating in, you must share what's your opinion. In my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, personally, I believe that if we if we dump all the biomedical waste in a land, the land can become extremely toxic for even the neighboring areas to live. For example, when the nuclear bomb blast happened in Russia, the biggest one, Chernobyl, until that today's time we know, and that's the biggest nuclear disaster, and that entire town had to be evacuated because of the contamination. If we dump our landfill with similar biomedical waste is also really contaminated, so our entire town, wherever it will be deposited, can become equally toxic. I can add few examples if I can think of. If you are now here, you can see two questions. Would you please explain that a little more? Could you please explain? Now, asking questions, open questions like this is not something that I personally suggest doing, but you can always ask a non-question question. Now, what are non-question questions? Questions which do not require a response. For example, if I say, whatever I said just before, like I'm afraid if this happens, if this step is taken, our land and the neighboring cities can become, the land of the neighboring cities can become totally contaminated, and the groundwater gets contaminated too. Would you not all agree on it? I think all of you would agree, right? Or yes? Now, this is an open question, but it's a secret invitation also for all of you to jump in. Immediately Pratik can say, yes, I totally agree, ma'am. I didn't think about it, and you have put across a great point. Correct? So it's not a question, it's like just an affirmation while somebody else gets the chance to speak on that. So you can immediately jump in somebody else and add on to something that. So don't ask these open questions, but smartly put it across. Yes, Preeti.
Ma'am, is it okay to, if we don't know the topic and still we are trying to get into the conversation, is
Can you
that
tell me one
counted by the
topic? Have you
GDs
researched
while
about?
the interview?
That is totally possible that you get about that. But have you been doing enough work to, have you thought of, tell me one such topic, unexpected topic, about which you think you have no idea?
Ma'am, I'm also not in too much into news. I have heard about Syria, but I don't have any detail about that. So can I jump in that conversation
Now
in
that you
that
are
group?
preparing for your placement, it's extremely important that you make yourself see. If there is something like my history is not good, or my sports just general is not in, I'm not interested, so I don't study, or I'm not really much aware about cultural variety and diversity, I have not studied enough on that, so I don't have a lot of knowledge about what to speak on cultural diversity. Now that's a factual thing, it's a general thing, it may or may not, but whatever is going on currently, current affairs is something that you all need to acquaint yourself with. You can't afford to not be updated about current affairs when you're preparing for a placement interview in GD. Well, I am not. I told you, it's not that I don't keep myself updated. I'm not regular on that because I know I have no such interview coming up where my life depends on that. If I know something is coming up, I make time for that.
Basically, my question was that, is it counted if we don't know the topic and still be trying to get included,
whether or not
get
you
carried with the topic?
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's
Talking
totally
about the
fine.
topic is important, or we
Why?
have to be very correct.
Yeah. Suppose you don't have idea, but somebody in your team will have. Okay. Logically, so whatever I said about biomedical waste, what do you think? Have I prepared any script on that? It's a general observation, right? Did I give any data? No. I just connected different dots logically. Waste, pile up, environment problem, land. Suddenly it came. So that's a solution that came to my mind. So I spoke. But then immediately as I spoke, I also thought about the toxicity. And immediately Chernobyl thing came into my mind. Have you heard about Chernobyl nuclear disaster?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Chernobyl.
Yeah.
In Russia.
Right. If you haven't, There is a web series on that. Everybody, you can watch it. You should watch it. That's a recommendation.
Especially it get in news because of Russia-Ukraine war. Also, last year.
Yes, but then I had studied before that about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, on my screen, you all should be able to see some phrases. These are not complete sentences. These are phrases that you can use when you are giving opinion, when you are clarifying. So a lot of times when I say something like what Rohit said, and I misunderstood that, then Rohit should say, Rohit can say, no, that's not what I am trying to say. What I mean here is, and then Rohit can explain what we mean using different set of words so that a stubborn person like me can understand. Okay. That's an interesting point. I never really thought about that. You can use these pointers. Suppose, Preeti, you are not aware of that. And then immediately it comes to you, or you want to speak. So you can make this. Oh, that's an interesting point. Wow, Vishal, you have made really an interesting remark. And then you can add on. I also believe now that it crosses my mind, and then you add something from the observation. Even if you have no prior idea or knowledge about the GD, you can always add something if you observe your teammates' discussion carefully. While teammates also have to be equally sensitive and careful enough to include every person, but you can't keep asking them, okay, you speak and you can speak. Smartly somewhere snippet it. So Preeti, would you like to add something to it? I saw you wanted to speak. Would you like to add something to it? Now, Preeti is in the spot. Preeti has to speak. Plus, I said Preeti wanted to say something. Even if Preeti didn't want to, I made it look like that. Okay. Now, when you share your opinion, there are two ways of doing that. And these phrases, again, I'll request note it down somewhere. So when you share point of view, it can be either your personal suggestion, recommendation, your observation, your opinion, or it could be a general point of view, what people generally believe. Now, general point of view you share usually in the beginning. What's the current state? What has been the background and so. And personal point of view you share a little further. In my experience, I personally think it is thought that some people say that and generally accepted that. Okay, so on and so forth. You can go ahead. With general point of view, especially can be used for introduction. Introduce the topic. Some more words, and I would want you all to take a screenshot of this, especially about interrupting politely. That's really super, super important because you need to interrupt people. If you don't interrupt, you will never get the chance. Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to add here, or you can raise your hand a bit so that others get the cue that you wanted to speak. But if it is virtual, you'll have to be quick and prompt enough. I would like to add here, Shubhangi. I'm so sorry for interrupting you, Shubhangi, but I would like to add here. It's okay. Is it okay if I add something here? Immediately, like you are asking, if you have interrupted, you're apologizing or you're asking. So it's so polite. It's not rude. It's courteous. Some other important phrases during the discussion into now these phrases, why I'm sharing with you. First, they add a specific transition to your, plus at the same time, you get a bit of second of time to think about what you're going to say next. So it's like those twists and turns which keeps the way alive. It's not straight, it's not dead. You know, okay, this transition, this, and now we are moving on to this. So be ready. It's not that once every advantage has been discussed, then only you move to disadvantage. No. Suppose I said one advantage that like, okay, I feel to suggest suggestions and solutions way forward should be discussed towards the end of the GD when you are progressing, when you have made other discussions. And then I said something, somebody can counter that. Community kitchens, like the way they are very beneficial, they are a great tool for society, and they add name, etc. While somebody say, I'm sorry, Archana, but I don't believe that way. I believe community kitchens are a blot on the society also because they are doing that way, that way, that way. Is XYZ. Now the structure of your GD. This is something that I have been found you all are not using correctly. The structuring is not happening, and I'm again putting a lot of effort. Everybody be on camera if possible. so that I can be assured that you are listening to me correctly. And if you have any doubts, you can ask right before I assign you all the topics, and then you go jump into your discussions. When you start your discussion, whatever topic it is, okay, because you all get preparation time, please coordinate, because everybody has to introduce and everybody has to close also. So no repetition of, like, suppose Pratik said something, you are not supposed to say again, and Pratik cannot speak like 15 sentences. Pratik has to speak 2 to 3 sentences, that's all. And you add, suppose Sampada is the next one after Pratik. So Sampada can add next thing about the introduction. So when you start your GD, you know the part, knowing your coordination is really important. Okay, who is going to speak after whom, because introduction and closing has to be done by everybody. Then you talk about the past. What really I mean here, give a bit of background of your topic. This was the situation few years ago, few decades ago, and since some time before COVID. Suppose there is a topic related to COVID. So before COVID, XYZ was the situation. People did this way, and that way. Virtual sessions were not a norm. It was not a common thing. It happened, but it was quite unusual. I remember I did a course from Cambridge, and that was online. 2017 is when I did the course. And very few people, I had international classmates. And in India, if I told somebody, okay, this is the course that I've done, half the people, half of the time, would have no idea what was that course about. Okay. Because lack of awareness. But then, because online courses were not that much, there was a time, I remember, online courses were not even given that much of due importance. Now I see this entire university exists on online. Now, so that's the background information that you all can give. Background information. What is the, introduce the topic. So one thing I said, something, 2 sentences, something, somebody else, and somebody else. Say, that's how you introduce. You don't say the same thing. So I would like to begin the discussion by introducing a bit about the past. So before COVID, XYZ happened. So next person says, and after that came a time when XYZ happened. Then next person says, but in today's time, it has taken shape. Now the situation is quite worse. People have, there are a lot of repercussions that we will be talking about. One of them is this, whatever will be the topic. And then you saw. Here, what really we mean by keyword approach, topic appropriate words, because you should not be repeating too many times the same words again and again and again. So that's really important that you have your keywords written on your notebook that you will be using during a discussion. If you're saying, suppose, again, biomedical waste, I should not be using this waste every time in my discussion, like 3-4 times a sentence. No. Then slowly you move towards what's the situation in present, whatever is. This goes specifically for case-based, but it will apply to all the structures. Okay, here you can see some masterpieces. I will introduce you to these, but for now, I would want you to ignore. Stick to 2 approaches, 3 approaches that I have talked to you. Mind map, because I want you to work with what you work best. Mind map and pestle. But now these 2 will work best for you. There are so many, like 15-20 such approaches exist. 2 is what I want you to use. Mind map correctly, pestle. And if you can use WH words also. All the what, when, why, where, how, all of that. Okay. Then product, price, place. Now there is a topic where product, whatever situation you're talking, cost, economically, all of that. So don't go into too many of these, but techniques that you have talked about, bringing in. So somebody, suppose, now if you use pestle technique, there is one thing here also. And Vishal and Kavita and Preeti are in the team. Suppose they are in the team. So Vishal decides, I will speak on the legal part. Preeti says, I will speak on the environmental part. And Kavita says, I will speak on the social part. Is it really a group discussion then? Yes or no?
No.
No,
It will become a speech. Now, how do you take it then? You want to cover all these aspects also. You want to cover legal, you want to cover social, and you want to cover environmental also. So suppose Vishal introduced the legal part. So there came an act in XYZ. Supposedly Vishal is aware, so he spoke. Now Preeti and Kavita are not aware. So it's not that you add another thing legally or you add something from environment. No, if you listen Vishal, you need to add your observation. I think Vishal, I was not aware of that, but now that I think of it, and then you add on to what legal point Vishal has made here. It can be some law, it can be some consequence of an action. Even if you're not aware of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and all the real acts and laws, a general awareness is expected. Like, I know कि Swachh Bharat Abhiyan जैसा कुछ तो था, और क्या था उसका intention, I need to be little aware with that also. It could be anything. So you add on. My opinion, I think Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or demonetization was a complete fail, because corruption and black money increased only after that. What I heard from my uncles and my neighbors and so on and so forth. You can add that also. But then because Vishal pointed, so then Preeti was making this point, and then a bit of discussion on legal, where you put forward somebody, 2-3 people maybe put forward their point. So somebody says, I want to add another thing here. Not only legal, but I think it has environmental implications also. We cannot ignore on that. So then you can say one of the main reasons that I've seen waste piling up. Now that's how you move from legal to environmental to social, and you have discussion on each where everybody put across their points as well. Are you all getting? Are we on the same page? Are you all understanding? I'm speaking too much here.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if someone is saying about the positivity, and I want to say about the negativity of the topic.
That's it. Okay. Somebody said positive. Are you thinking about countering him with your opinion, or you have a totally different negative? That depends. Immediately don't introduce something totally different negative. For example, if I said about the biomedical waste that depositing all the waste into land in one place is a good solution as per me, then what you should counter is, no, I don't believe that's a good reason, but because it can increase toxic level. That you can say, but you can't say, I think it also increases air pollution. That will not make sense here. That's not a correct progression. Now that once you countered me on the, no, I don't think landfill is another. Somebody else can say, and there is another point here. It also adds to the air pollution. Then somebody can add on to that. So understand the link. Past, as in what a previous person has said, next one has to relate with that also. And then you move forward. I said positive and you said something totally unrelated negative. How are we connected? How is the discussion moving forward? Did you really hear me out? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So you have to do that way. Okay. As you move forward, you talk about the major ramifications, major outcomes, positives, negatives. Rather than discussing like 10 negatives, I will be happier, and your panelists also will be happier if you discuss 2 to 3, either positives or negatives or both, but you go deeper into that. You discuss that issue and you slowly move towards future. When you talk about future, you talk about the possible outcomes if this action is taken, possible suggestions, what should be done by people, government, agencies, internationally, nationally, a certain section of society, whoever is the role player. What can be done? What should be done? What will happen if we do? What will happen if we don't take that action? That's how you end it. And I told you all a way of summarizing. Now, this is where you are moving towards conclusion. Quickly after this, once you have all, this part can be part of summary also, where you talk about the final suggestion. But once you are asked to close, how do you close? Can anybody give me a quick revision on that closing? Because I told you, okay, let me do it quickly and then I'll start dividing the topics. So you first person who closes, and please coordinate among your team members who is going to coordinate in which order. You need to be really clear on that. You can't keep looking at each other's faces. So how do you start concluding? First person who concludes says, To conclude here, we started our discussion on this and this and that, as in whatever was said in the beginning. Now, if you really want to conclude, you will have to make notes while you are listening to others. Then only you will be able to, because you cannot ever prepare for conclusion. जो discussion आपने किया ही नहीं है, उसके लिए आप prepare कैसे करोगे? That will always be spontaneous. You can prepare for intro, you can prepare pointers to discuss in the middle, but you can't prepare for your summary conclusion. Okay, you can't. That has to generate from the discussion. And so first person said to start the conclusion, we started our discussion on the backdrop, impact, and so on and so past. Second person says, and then our discussion moved on to discuss the causes of this situation. Then third person says, then we also discussed about the positives and the negatives, whatever it will be. And then fourth person says, and in the end, we arrived on this conclusion that 1, 2, 3, or 1 or 2, we need to take these actions to have this in the future. Fifth person can say so, and we also arrived on this conclusion that if this is not taken, that will happen. That's it from our side. That's how you conclude. Am I clear? Have I made myself clear? Yes? Okay. So time to...
Ma'am, repeat, know your participants once more.
Come again, Vishal.
Ma'am, first point, what did you explain?
Whatever you will discuss, you need to make pointers. I've just given you an example of how you conclude the topic. It's not always the causes only. Whatever will be the discussion. हो सकता है ऐसा कोई टॉपिक हो जिसमें cause की कोई बात नहीं हो. You have to be, each of you have to be alert enough to make notes while you are listening also, so that later on you can conclude. आप अपने preparation के time सिर्फ coordinate कर सकते हो कि I will speak first, then Preeti will speak, then Ravi will speak, then Shantanu will speak. But Shantanu knows कि Shantanu को fourth spot पे conclude करना है, तो Shantanu has to keep in mind what happened in the middle of GD. Because Shantanu will be concluding the middle part of GD maybe, because he is speaking at the fourth position. Because Shubhangi will be concluding the intro of the GD, so Shubhangi has to be really active what Vishal spoke, because Vishal had opened the GD. So Shubhangi has to listen carefully what Vishal said in the beginning. Along with Vishal, Kavita also introduced. Not only Kavita, but everybody introduced. So Shubhangi has to listen carefully what these people said in intro, so that I can revise that in the end. So after me, Preeti had the turn. Preeti has to say now what was the next point of discussion. So Preeti said, after the introduction, we first talked about the present situation of this, why this happened. And there were 2 and 1 to 2 sentences, everybody, not too many. Preeti says, so 1, 2, this happened. The next person says, Ravi says, and next in the conclusion, we move forward our discussion to discuss about the positive and the negative. And then comes Shantanu's turn, 4th. He says, Shantanu would say, in my point to conclude, I would say, then our discussion moved to this and this. And that was it. Suppose Shantanu is the last person to speak. So say that was it from our end, and we discuss this future outcomes and so on. So that's how it should progress. Any doubt on any point from the beginning till the end? Everybody? Anyone? Are we clear?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what am I
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to do here? I'm going to have 5 breakout rooms. And each breakout room has 4 to 5 participants. Yeah. And each room will not be given a topic at the same time. Just allow me 1 minute. Okay. So important announcement for all of you. The topics will not be sent to you all at the same time. First team one, you will be the first one to receive topic in your breakout room. While all other teams will wait a bit, please do a bit of research till the time you don't get your topic. Coordinate other things among your team member who is going to contribute the words that you can use for your opinion, to share, to oppose, any other discussion. Do some fruitful discussion until the time 10 minutes after team 1 gets the topic, team 2 will be getting the topic, because I want just the fair amount of time for every team to practice on their topic. Okay, so here I'm opening your breakout room. Please, and I will also not be calling you back at the same time. One by one, you all will be coming back here. So keep a tracker to have 15 minutes preparation time for every team. Every team, you need to track it. I will be, but you need to, because I may miss out on that if I'll be listening here to any team. And don't leave the session in between. That's a humble request. Your team will suffer. You also will suffer if you leave in between.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Am I audible now?
Yes, Naila, yes, now you are audible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here we go. And team 1, I'll be coming to your room to allot you the topic. Quickly join your breakout room, everybody. Guys, please join your breakout room quickly. Niharika, Pratiksha, Rushikesh, Pratibha and Priyanka. Please join your breakout room, guys. Quickly join your breakout room. Pratibha and Priyanka, please join your breakout room, girls, quickly. Priyanka, are you there in the session? Can you join your breakout room? Hi, guys.
Hello.
Favor of Uber. So the topic is Uber business benefit to the Uber business benefit.
One second, just sorry to interrupt you, Divya Bhushan. Other team members also, Pratiksha and Hashikesh, please be on camera, guys.
Actually my camera is on, but my around my light, sorry, power is off, caught right now.
Hello,
And
ma'am.
weather
My-
is totally clouded.
My
So
camera is not working, ma'am.
I'm already on my camera, but due to some weather issue.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead then. Has started, please go ahead. Team 1.
Okay, ma'am. So our topic is Uber business. How much it is profitable as compared to the traditional one. So I'm telling it about in the favor of it, like in for both rider and as well as for the driver, that how it is profitable. So first of all, for the rider, ma'am, it is having the simplicity and convenience, because everything is one touch in their hand, because they use the mobile device of the mobile application of the Uber application. So they get the benefit that in one touch they can call the Uber taxi, and it is like safe pickup, because when you call and the driver comes to you at your particular location by using the mapping process, and there is several choice to you as a user, because you have a like mini car, micro car and sedan, also like luxury car also you can able to book according to how much amount you are able to pay. And Also, ma'am, after taking the ride, one can the driver can take the feedback. Also, the customer can also get the feedback. It's like an anonymous feedback, so that for the improvement of the taxi. And
Sorry to interrupt you, Divabhushan, but this technology makes us prisoners of technology. And looking back to the taxi drivers, those who know each and every streets of towns, but Uber's drivers cannot. Uber's drivers don't know the streets. This is the main lack of the Uber's technology, because they know city streets, not like much more than village roads.
okay, you mean to say that Uber driver did not able to get the particular route by
Yes.
watching the map? Is it so?
Yes, but the traditional taxi drivers also knows the proper area and their routes.
Yeah, I think you are right somewhat, because we can see, because the new person come and join the Uber taxi, and somehow they don't know the locality. But instead, if the person who are already been there for the long time, they are the native person and who was the driver for a particular place, then it is profitable for them to find out the particular location. Yeah, few point you are saying right, but it is only for the person those who are new to that particular place, not for the person who is living for the long time and making driving as a business.
Okay, but not everyone knows that the driver is local or not.
Yeah, it's very hard to find that the driver is local, right?
And it's
Yeah,
also
I'm
possible
also.
that driver also makes some fake identity for working or taking advantage of that.
Sorry to interrupt, Yashashri, but I'm not clear what point are you trying to make with this? Would you like to clarify a bit?
Yes, ma'am. If someone wants to work with Ubers, then also it's possible to make a fake identity for that.
But as in, what's the implication? I mean, still not trying to understand the relevance with the topic that we are discussing.
Ma'am, if we are booking some cab, then also the person with join with Ubers is also need to provide some identity proof. Identity proof. If they wants to make more business regarding this, they also can create a fake ID proof.
What happens when they create fake ID proof? Why? What is the intention
Ma'am,
behind
it's
that?
also risky because
Yes.
we don't know that person.
Right, but that same risk is present in local taxis also.
But ma'am, I want to interrupt in this, because Yashasvi is saying that the driver make a fake identity and use the cab. So why? I mean, in my mind, one question is arises that why should they make a fake identity? Because they have to, because it is a means for the livelihood, and it's like a button bread for them. So why they use such a kind of fake identity if they want to survive in that particular field of driving and having a taxi driver? So this is
I
the question.
agree partially with you, but I still think because local taxis do not have any location tracking device, whereas a lot of these, especially Uber has, what do we say? GPT? No, GPS, sorry. GPS is what we say. We have that which tracks the location, and which definitely I live in Metro City, and it makes me a little bit safer to share my live location with my family. So that I feel is really important when one facility that Uber gives.
Yes.
But ma'am, what if we lost our network?
You answer, you can't keep asking questions. So you like, you can, what did I say? Like, just pause for a second here. What did I say? You can ask non-questions. You can't ask the open questions. Non-questions wherein you are not expecting the answer. So what you should have said, Yashasri, so what about this? Are you aware that this happens? And you immediately come with the response on your own. You are not expecting a answer if you do, throw a question. It's a non-question question, as I like to say. It's like, suppose I sometimes say, have you all lost it? Now, this is not a question that I'm expecting the answer to, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? We say to our brother, are you crazy? We say this, right? Are we expecting the real answer? These are non-question questions. What about this? We don't think about, so immediately when you say, what about this thing? And then immediately come back with your response. Don't wait for response from somebody else on that. Because it's a question, but it's a non-question. It's like adding emphasis using a question term.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Hello,
additionally,
ma'am.
I want. Yeah, okay. Continue. Say.
Okay, one more
Yes.
thing, just that I will want to give you. I'm so sorry for interrupting this because all others are also listening and everybody. I may interrupt in between GD if I feel so. Treat me as a participant. Don't refer to me as a ma'am. As in, don't refer to me at all. Keep me as another participant. You are saying right. Like, continue the discussion as you would do generally. And argue with me as you would with other teammates. If I jump in anybody's discussion in between, okay, treat me as another participant. Okay.
Okay. Uber
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uber is comparatively less expensive as compared to traditional car and taxi services. Safety is one of the major benefits of riding in Uber, as the transaction is cashless. There is no requirement to cash that may allure a robber. When you book a ride in Uber, you can be rest assured that your peace of mind and security is taken care of.
Yeah, additionally, I want to interrupt you. Sorry, but I don't think Uber is economical because is high fee of other mode of public transportation. In Uber is higher fees other mode of public transportation. Just like if you are traveling in a city, you can pick a city bus where Uber gives 50 rupees of charges extra. And you can transport in city bus. You can only pay for 5 or 10 rupees. Won't transfer from one end to another end. So I think it's better to traveling to Uber. We can go pick up public transportation like city bus and this. So Uber is, I think, very high fees of other transportation.
Yes, agree with you, Hashikesh, because Uber's taxi drivers changes rate according to their need
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So now we have to think what could be the possible situations where now how do we handle the situation? One thing that I can think of about handling this issue is to have some regulatory authorities take stricter actions to balance out, because clearly we have some negative and positive outcomes of both. Add on, guys. Some other solutions or suggestions you can say like that. Quickly, keep adding on, don't stop. I'll just be back. I'm joining breakout room for a while. I'll just be back. You keep continuing. Guys.
Ma'am, we are team 4 and you were asking for team 5. So we thought
4 as well. Your time is almost over, I guess. Be back in the main session.
no 5 minutes.
Okay. But come back, okay? Quickly.
Place and we can join them.
But I think it is a disadvantage for who can if we talking about a traditional car and taxi service that form a lodging of customers and feeling of earning regular income. So it is a very disappointment of that if they earn less amount than other. If you are talking about if you purchasing any taxi, so a whole amount goes for that taxi driver. If you are purchasing any Uber service, you should pay half amount to Uber and half amount to taxi driver. So it is not
Yes,
behalf for benefit for any other reason.
sorry to
Benefit for
interrupt you,
others.
Hashikesh and Divabhushan. I'm agree with Hashikesh because for making more money, Uber's drivers can make more trips day to day, and this will be more risky because if drivers can drive more than 1,000 kilometers or 500 kilometers, he also need proper rest. And for making more money, Uber drivers can make more trips.
Okay. Can you start
And well,
summarizing? Yeah. Finish whatever you are saying and then start summarizing. Team one.
so I will summarize myself from as per saying by as per saying Divya Bhushan, uh, Uber service is much good as other when we are pointing to time. But if we are saying we are want to save our money, so that time I will say it is not be a benefit for us.
But
Yeah.
looking at the positive aspect, if you are saying, then it is like when you are booking a car, like it is a safety, and also if you pay a extra amount of some little bit amount of money, then you get also the luxury facility, like you have the AC available on the on car, and everything is like very convenient. So like you feel like it's your own car. So I think paying extra bit of money instead of going on to the like local taxi or simply like that, then it is much more fruitful as compared to the traditional one, I must say.
I am summarize. Uber is comparatively less expensive as compared to traditional car and taxi services.
Okay, are we done? Team one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fair enough. I have made my feedbacks known. I have interrupted in between two. Time for team two to be active. Be on camera, everybody from team two, and get going. 7 to 10 minutes roughly, not more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. And
Good afternoon.
we are yeah. The failure of Blockbuster and the rise of Netflix is in the entertainment industry is a fascinating topic we have got. Let's start. Let's start by discussing the reason behind Blockbuster's downfall. 90s was the era of blockbuster industry where the industry was on the peak, on their peak. This era eventually came to an end as the industry shifted towards digital media and streaming service. I see one of the major reasons behind Blockbuster failure was its inability to adapt to changes of consumer preferences. Consumers started to shift towards more convenient and cost-effective options. Blockbuster failed to recognize this trend and eventually gone into downfall. On the other hand, Netflix was the company who started as a DVD by mail service. They sent DVD by mail. That was a rental service, but it quickly transitioned to a digital media and streaming service. They find what the audience love. Audience love more convenient and personalized experience.
No, I think I have some different perspective like than Preeti. That you said Blockbuster has downfall because of the OTT, but recently the our old traditional blockbusters also switching to the OTT platform. Like some OTT platform recently launched like old Balaji. It also a OTT platform which is launched by our traditional entertainment source.
Yeah, I totally agree, Vishal. They are shifting towards media. That's what I'm talking about. That blockbuster industry where we go and watch movies offline. That comes to an end at a quiet existence. Means it quietly we can see this that this era is in the downfall.
Because because I think in the downfall of the one of the reason is that the political support. The because our old all the tax all the regulation are based on the are regulated on the uh, previous entertainment and not applied on the new generation. And also government also push the new industry, and so that they cut down taxes, they get benefited in taxes, so they get promoted. Also the one of the reason of the downfall of our in blockbuster industry.
Yeah.
the government support.
In my opinion,
Yeah, yeah.
Netflix is a brand, and it is used nowadays. It is used worldwide, and uh, in Blockbuster, if we had to uh, go for movie, then we all, if we go with our family, then we all have to purchase a ticket. But nowadays, if we take a subscription of Netflix, then with one subscription, we all of our family, we watch the movie or any series, and whatever that maybe movie or just any type of story, we can watch there, and with our family. So, and we have to pay only for a month, or quarterly, or half yearly, or maybe yearly. We can pay for that. So it is top.
But Ravi, as you said, we can watch it with a family. And in tradition, we can also watch it by renting the CD or DVD movies, so that we can also watch. And it is also with us for a long period of time. We can use it multiple times. But in OTT, there's some duration. Whenever your subscription is, you lost your movie. You can't watch it. So you watch it again. You need to renew your OTT services.
But sometimes our we don't we can't confirm that our buy which CD we have bought, that is perfect for future or not. On OTT platform, it is means anytime we can see.
Yeah, I agree with your
Our
point that
subscription is
yes, I agree with your point that our entertainment needs always changing,
yeah.
always need
And
to update.
mainly, Ravi
Yeah,
and Vishal, I
yes,
also believe that mainly Netflix is able to offer unique content
yeah,
that could not be found anywhere else, and that make a major difference in the this kind of debate in this kind of industry, both industries.
yeah, because the OTT platform use technology, latest technology like the data analysis, so that they pitch the uh,
Yeah,
result according to the search of the users, which
yeah.
is more relevant.
Yeah, Netflix is a data-driven approach to content creations and all. So they get directly to the individual what they would like and suggest them. They are moving with the technology where this our typical industry doesn't move. That's the main cause they are in the downfall.
Yeah, they didn't able to adapt so at the pace of technology. They didn't adapt such fast. So
Um,
Yeah.
Rohit,
and I also I thought so that means Blockbuster has to pay how how much tickets they sell. According to sell, they have to pay to the movies industries. And in Netflix, we can say the producer or director sell their movie or series uh, at a fixed rate. Otherwise, they are in profit or loss, it doesn't matter. So after Netflix, the director or producers uh, have a more income uh,
yeah,
than the blockbusters.
yeah, Rohit, would you like to add something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Overall, the failure blockbuster of rise of Netflix in the entertainment industry can attribute to several factors, including changing consumer preference, the
cultural
rise of
impact.
digital.
Yeah, changing consumer habits.
Yes, yes.
So
Okay.
all I believe is change is constant in this world. Whatever is changing, that will be constant. There is nothing like same thing will be remained forever. We have to
Yeah.
be changed, and this industry is feeling that.
Yeah,
So
traditional blockbuster is not so cost effective. Our OTT, the OTT platform are so cost effective. It provides the entertainment on the go. But
yeah,
in
for
traditional way,
example, if we 10 people want to watch some movie, we have to go and buy ticket approx 10 into
Summarize,
3.
start summarizing.
okay.
There are major factors which we can be see while for the failure of the blockbuster, including changing customer preferences and ability to adapt the change
Yeah, the
according to
recent
the convenience and the experience of the customer.
we also discussed that how the government supported a new technology, which may lead to the downfall of the other tech, other other existing entertainment source. It also may lead to the job losses which are working in the blockbuster in the entertainment industry. We
Yes.
disrupt our traditional business model. That's that's from my side. And what's about Ravi?
My opinion means we have to
Don't give
after
opinion. What we tell what we discuss. What are the crux of the group discussion?
yeah,
Just
we discussed uh,
like changing in consumer habit, cultural
we
impact.
can have
Yeah,
it and saves our time. We can say uh, about our time management. We can say.
yeah. Entertainment
And we
available
can
on the
say
go.
in future there will be we everyone will have this. Now only like 80% have Netflix or this type of uh, digital services. So maybe there will be 100% in future.
The
Yeah.
digital services also need entertainment dependency.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, everybody.
Good job, team 2. Let's move to team 3.
Thank you.
Team 3, get ready. Preferably be on camera also. What happened? Team 3,
Yes, ma'am. Would you
get
start?
going.
First of all, a very warm evening to everyone. Today, the topic is the ethics of using customer data for targeted advertising, which only mainly focuses on the online platform. So nowadays, as we can see, uh, companies need a creative advertisement to be in a competition. And to be in a competition, the advertisement needs customer data, or here the company should know which customers it's targeting to. And it is a very critical matter of balancing the customer data privacy and policy, and also achieving its target of advertising the product to the customers. So first of all, I would like to ask Ashish and Kavita, uh, how would it be to you if you are logging into some website and
Yes.
they are asking for your consent, and you obviously provided your consent, and the next day what you see is you see your picture and your personal email and with your personal phone number. How would you feel for their advertisement? Your personal data is exposed to the public, right? So obviously they would be agitated. So it is a very critical matter to post an advertisement for a company and balance the privacy and policy of a particular customer. So Yeah, I would like to address one incident happened with my father. One day, my father was visiting some website and they asked for their consent. But within few days, what happened is from his Twitter account, multiple posts were sent without his consent regarding some recent events and which is not appropriate. So what happens? It leads my father's account got banned from the Twitter. So what my point is, the ethics should be followed, and there are several factors which could lead to a very malpractice of having the customer data published publicly. Yeah, we will conclude it later. So yeah, Ashish.
Yes, definitely. I agree to my friend Santanu. I want to add some point here. Approximately 2.38 billions user reported currently using Facebook. So it is a it can be huge misleading of data. Hmm. And also, I want to add some few points. Facebook has reportedly demonstrated a failure to protect their user privacy and keeping their data secure. And it happened 3 times in a year. First time happened in 2007, and second happened 2013, and it happens. It has happened also in 2018. So.
So did they expose the data or what? What did happen at that moment?
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
I am agree with for both of you. While giving our data to for targeted advertising, we must know that this data may include a customer private mobile number, mail ID, and address, and also other important details, which can cause harm to the customer. And if these details get get into wrong hand, then they can use this data for wrong purpose, such as banking theft.
Yeah, Kavita, I agree. But what I mean to say is, yeah, it is sometimes it's necessary. Like if you are
Yes.
visiting a government website, it is necessary for you to fill all the credentials, like if you are a valid user or not, if any AI technology is using this website or not. So yeah, obviously, we need to give our mail or phone number or anything whichever site requires. So it's the government's or server side responsibility to maintain the data and our private stuff secure and safe. You mean to say that, no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ashish, would you like to add some more points over the topic?
No, Shantanu.
Okay.
This all.
So to conclude this topic, I would like to say it is very important to consider few points when we are advertising any stuff. Like while advertisement, we should consider the point that we are not harming anybody's private data, and we are not encouraging, or the advertisement is not misleading, and we are not discriminating any individual on any basis. So company should always take a note of this point, and first and foremost, there should be a transparency. Like if we see, if we enter particular site and there is a consent, so the consent is such long that we don't bother to read it, and if we start reading it, there is a point where we break down and we always skip the point, we let it be, and we log it via without considering all the consent. And company is also very sharp to deep putting down the main content in the deep down, or the user would not be able to read it. So the last but not the least point is, It's our also a duty to read all the consent properly, and while reading, only enter the site when you are sure it is secure and safe. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, from my side, I conclude that we must be careful while uploading our data to social media or any websites. Thank you.
Am I audible to you all?